Now we move on to Nigeria. What about Nigeria and how the people how Nigerians fought against colonialism? Nigeria, in Africa, actually the word nationalism is new one. Nation, country, that is nation, is a new word for the African people. Here the people were identified by their that is tribe. People here united by their tribal identity. So in in Nigeria we see three tribal groups. The north one, this is Nigeria. The north tribal people are known as Hausa Fulani. This one, southeast known as Igbo, Hausa Fulani north, and southwest are known as Yoruba. So these three tribal groups were there in Nigeria. Actually, this country was created, that Nigeria country, this country was created by the British. See, in the year 16th century, in 16th century, actually this total region were famous for slave trade. It is in 16th century, this region was famous for slave trade. The Europeans, they came here, they captured local tribes, local people, and they sold to American traders. This was the slave business. Slave trade was very famous during 16th century. Okay. Now see what happened in 19th century. That slave trade was banned in 19th century. Then the Europeans concentrated on agriculture, that is on palm oil production and cocoa. Slave trade was banned in 19th century. Then Europeans concentrated on agriculture in producing palm oil and cocoa. In the year 1861, British formed the rule on coastal area of Nigeria. This coastal area, this is, as you know, this is Atlantic Ocean, this is Africa continent. This corner side, it is Nigeria location. British made rule on coastal area. This region, British established their rule in coastal area of Nigeria in the year 1861. They developed this city. You know this city. This city is Lagos. Where is Lagos? Lagos is in Nigeria. So this city, Lagos city, was developed by the British. Only their development purpose. So only for their education, this city became a center. They developed the city for their education, trade and administration. Only for their administration and trade, and for only education, only total overall their development, they developed the city Lagos. Where is Lagos? Lagos is in here. It is in Nigeria. But the same city, so Nigerians used the same city for these ideologies, for fight for against colonialism. They used the same city. This is British purpose. These are African, Nigerian purpose. They used the same city to fight against colonialism, to fight to get Pan-Africanism and for Nigerian nationalism. For this purpose, Nigerians used the same city for this purpose. What is called colonialism? Already we know, making colonies. Europeans made colonies in so many countries to fight against them, that is fight against colonialism. What is called Pan-Africanism? This is important. Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism means it is an idea to unite all the African people irrespective of their tribe, country, and also it is the idea to fight against colonialism. Not only colonialism, not only unity, they have to fight the equality and they have to fight against discrimination, racism. So all those we can see in Pan-Africanism. That is called Pan-Africanism. Now this is about this one. Now let us see what happened during 19th and 20th centuries. Racism became very common in Nigeria. British occupied British made colony in coastal area of Nigeria. Then now I want to tell one thing. See, what this north people belongs to Muslim. North, that is Hausa Fulani tribe, belongs to Muslims, whereas Yoruba, Igbo, they followed Christianity. Christianity they followed. Why? Because why Christianity? As this region, coastal area, were under British. So British, because of missionary schools were there, missionary schools, because of British people, these areas followed these two tribes, Yoruba and Igbo. South part followed Christianity, whereas north part followed Muslims, Islam region. So in not only this one, and again the British who were ruled here, these were under rule of British. So British showed racism, that is discrimination became very common. Racism became very common in 19th and 20th century in Nigeria, this region. Now, what type of forms we see? Discrimination, racism, common. African people were not allowed to write civil service examination. See, the African businessmen, African entrepreneurs were discriminated by the British in so many ways. And those tribal chiefs, see, tribal chiefs and tribal elites, they were promoted. These people were supported by the British. These people were encouraged by the British, whereas common people, civilians and other businessmen, they were discriminated. See here, divide and rule policy. British people followed divide and rule policy. In the form, one more form is here. In the year 1939, British people separated. These two, coastal area was separated in the year 1939. Yoruba and Igbo, these two regions were separated and by the British, and they were known as Western Nigeria, this one Eastern Nigeria. In this way they separated that region. They encouraged local tribal chiefs, they promoted tribal chiefs, and they suppressed, discriminated other common people. In this way we say that they followed the divide and rule policy, they followed. And one more thing is here, Hausa Fulani, this region, northern Nigeria region, here we do not follow, no modernization. There was no modernization in north region. Here we see modern science, modernization, modern administration, modern education we see here. That is, the south part was well developed region, north part was not developed region. In this way, so many ways they divided, they made conflicts between people, between tribes. They encouraged them to fight one another. These are all we see divide and rule policy they followed. Okay, thus British followed divide and rule policy. They created a lot of differences between among those three regions and peoples. They encouraged elite groups, they encouraged tribal chiefs, they discriminated, they showed racism, common people and business people. So they created lot of differences. They followed divide and rule policy. Then some people, some intellectuals and educated people, they understand all this system that British followed. They decided to fight against British policy. In this way, they found this person, Herbert Macaulay. Herbert Macaulay founded this party, National Nigerian Democratic Party. This party founded by Herbert Macaulay, this person, in the year 1923. So what was the main? To fight against their policy, to fight against British and get independence. That was the policy. This party won the total seats in Nigeria. And later, see this person, Nnamdi Azikiwe. This person again started a movement, that is Nigerian Youth Movement, started by Nnamdi Azikiwe in the year 1936. This political party, this one movement, it became a strong movement. So these two, the main idea is to fight the British, to fight against the British, and to unity, to make a unity among ethnic groups. These two were the aims of Nigerian nationalists, either NNDP party or NYM, National Nigerian Youth Movement. The main aim was only two aims: to fight against the British and to make a unity among the different types of tribal groups. These two were the main aim of Nigerian nationalists. Then what happened in the year 1944? These two, Lord Albert Macaulay and Ajikiwe, these two persons joined together and formed this one, National Conference of Nigeria and Cameroon. This party was established by joining these two, Macaulay and Ajikiwe, in the year 1944. National Conference of Nigeria and Cameroon party was established. Here, this person Ajikiwe became a very strong person in NCNC. He became very strong regarding to fight against these two aims. Now, later see regional, not only these two parties. Later we see some more local parties. Local parties were also emerged in local areas. You take one example, northern side. Here NPC, was established in northern Nigeria. The eastern Nigeria, it is NCNC, National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. This one, it is dominated in east of Nigeria, southeast of Nigeria, and to the southwest of Nigeria, it is Action Group. These were the local parties. The aim of these local parties to fight against British and to make unity among tribal groups. Now, there is no other way. Finally, due to all these agitations, British government decided to give freedom to Nigeria. In the year 1963, British government decided to give 1st October 1963, Nigeria became independence. What happened? What type of independence? Is it simple and easy for the Nigerians? No. The independence which was given by the British was very complicated. There was no justice and they made a complicated independence. They made a complicated Nigeria. Because of such agitations, British government decided to hand over power to Nigeria. But they made a complex situation. See here, they decided to hand over power to Nigeria. That is, Nigeria became an independent country on 1st October 1963. 1st October 1963, Nigeria became a independent country. But here, the system, British made a complex federal system. They made, giving autonomous power to those three ethical groups. See, three regions mean Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Yoruba. Those three regions became autonomous. Autonomous mean here independency, taking own decisions. Here complex, British made a complex, giving autonomous power to these three regions. It made a complex federal system, and unfortunately the justice and democratic balance was not created. In the name, British gave freedom to Nigeria, but actually the position was complicated, very complicated they made. There is no justice and there is no democratic principle were created. This situation led to Cold War. Cold War mean Cold War between two. One is military government, the other is military government against people. Between these two, Cold War held in Nigeria. Because of these bad conditions, the country went under military government. In this way, a Cold War happened between military government and the people. So common people, they tried to remove this military government. They tried to make a simple democratic government, but this military government suppressed all the people. All the agitations were suppressed by the military government. So there was these two became partners, military government and MNCs, multinational oil corporation. These two shared corruption, and also they suppressed human rights in Nigeria. So these two dominated the government as well as MNC company, multinational oil company, especially a company named as Dutch Shell company. What is Dutch Shell company? Dutch Shell company was an multinational oil corporation company. See, oil was discovered in 1950 in Niger Delta. Niger, Niger is a river in Niger country. In Niger Delta, there was oil was discovered in the year 1950. The Dutch Shell company secured all the rights to drill that oil. Dutch Shell company got the rights to drill all the oil resources in Niger. So Dutch Shell company extracted more oil from the ground. So this created environmental pollution. So wherever you go, you see spilling of oil here and there in the lakes, and all the water and the soil were contaminated. Even drinking water also contaminated. Very bad situation was there in Niger Delta, but common people did not get any benefit. The local people did not get any benefit, but the government, what type of government was there? Military government and the multinational company, Dutch Shell company. These two shared the corruption. These two got more benefited, but common people did not get any benefit from that oil resources. This created agitation. Agitation against the government. They demanded. So pollution, total pollution was there. All water bodies get affected by oil, and the people get sick. In long term, that this situation led to cancer for the people. This situation, very bad situation was there. So due to this situation, there was agitation. Agitation came from the people. They demanded for compensation. The compensation for the damage. They demanded for compensation for the environmental damage, and they demanded for control over their resources. They wanted to control over their resources. What is going on here? Their resources were extracted by the multinational company, Dutch Shell company, not to give any benefit for the local people. Even the government and the company, these two shared the most corruption was there between these two companies, the company and the government. All those agitations were suppressed by the government. So military government was there, it suppressed all the agitations. So you take one example here, this person Ken Saro-Wiwa. Ken Saro-Wiwa, he was a strong environmentalist, a socialist. He was hanged to death. He was executed by the military government, even though there was the international, despite of international protests, but the military government had a deaf ear. It executed this person Ken Saro-Wiwa. Still this time, there was no stable government in Nigeria. Till this time, at present, people were fighting for to control over the resources. They are fighting for a pure democracy where all people will get equal rights. Still, there was no stable government in Nigeria.